most
So it's finally here. My Tesla S Plaid has arrived by Unbox
anticipated
Therapy.
items that have shown up here in Studio. Never had a Tesla before. And what a way to kick it off.
His first one.
What a way to get it
Okay.
started. This is the new Model S Plaid.
I know I kind of fucks with
Special.
the Tesla.
Elon is on to something, and I probably shouldn't have taken so long to get one. Man, it's a time.
The only problem with me and the Tesla is just the charging takes so long. Like it's so handy to have a diesel or petrol car. You know what I mean? Like you just go to a pump, fill her up, and you're off. And then like the Tesla takes a little while to charge as well. You know what I mean? Obviously depending on how many miles. So most people like they use it for the day and they charge at home. But imagine you have to charge like in the middle of a road trip and it takes like a couple of hours to charge.
I'm like this. What car? What car? What
That's
car?
my only problem with it. They look pretty nice though.
So 90s.
Yeah, he's making beats
Anyway,
on the dashboard.
this is
Oh, that's
going
nice.
to be a comprehensive
That's gorgeous
video.
car.
If you need a snack, if you need a drink, get it now. Buckle down, buckle in, buckle up, buckle something.
Okay.
Why am I angry?
No.
he's still trying.
Yo, I think that steering wheel is pretty cool.
Okay, that's good.
Yo, it sounds so nice. It sounds like a jet.
God.
It looks a bit small though on the back, doesn't it? Like the front looks mad comfy, but the back looks a bit small.
So fast.
I say it's such a comfortable car.
Oh. I didn't think you were this reckless.
I feel like just since everything was new to me, I'm gonna make it new to you as well. All right, so immediately what's different on this one is
Yeah, you
the
can
fact
pop that. Was that with his
latch.
phone?
So this one goes straight up, maybe slightly wider. You're gonna see the rims that were selected. That was an upgrade. They're 21 inches. You
They're kinda
have
alright.
sporty tires wrapped around them. They have like a satin black, sort of in between
They're
gloss
alright.
and matte finish on them. All the accents now in the modern Tesla are done
Yo,
in
that
black,
looks insane.
as opposed to chrome. That for me was the modern update that was necessary. You had it on the Model Y, Model 3.
Got some chrome.
Black accents on the camera over here. Black trim, black handles. It's a simple, they meet and greet you. The mirrors pop out too. Now what I did on the mirrors actually
That's so
is
cool.
I wrapped them in gloss black. I was just trying to personalize it a little bit.
Okay.
But then I got thinking about it more and I was like, man, I've been making these cases. I was like, maybe we could mock up some mirror caps out of carbon. These are what we came up with. Now, there's also an option for a matte finish, but I thought with all the black accents on the outside,
That's pretty cool.
maybe glossy would be the way to go. Slap that on. And for me, that just flows with the paint a little bit better. As soon as I started getting this car, I was starting to think about ways to personalize it. Probably because I was liking it so much. I was like enjoying sitting there. I was just selecting to drive this car. I have other
His
cars, but I'm
warehouse
getting
is
in
so
this
big.
car. I mean, really, it's all about the interior experience and the performance that
Yeah.
you just get used to. And you kind of miss when you don't have it. Stupid fast.
I'm just waiting.
Quarter mile.
I'm just waiting for him to get to the charging time and stuff like that. That's what I'm interested in, really, pretty much.
Etc., etc. This thing is so covert. Out on the street, it looks like a family sedan. It's the fastest car in the neighborhood. This trunk, this is almost like SUV caliber trunk. I can fit 2 kids and myself hockey gear in here with one section of the seats folded down. It's a lot of cargo and it's easy.
Yo,
to
that's
use
pretty
cargo.
big.
It's like, how big is the mouth? Like the
You
entry
push your dogs
point.
in there?
What is my approach angle? This is
That's pretty
very
nice.
usable cargo for the type of stuff I do with the sports equipment. It's power up, power down. Obviously, you can see camera sensors as well on the back. The car got tinted, so that wasn't.
You know what I'd go for if I had to do like if I could choose anything? I'd go for a full black car, but I have the inside. I'd have like a black leather seats, but the station would be red, like really bright red, so it'll just stand out. I think that would look pretty sick in a
Another
Tesla.
key for me made it look a little bit more special. I think it truly deserves a tint. Okay, so we're in the back now. I'm just gonna lift these up. They're There's a big display here in the center. This is not just for controlling things like the climate in the back. It's
Oh,
also
that's
capable
sick.
for media. I've already had the kids with the
That is sick.
YouTube on, with the Netflix on. A lot of the features.
Yeah, as I said, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of space in the back. Like maybe if you have kids, it's okay. But like, I don't know, if you have a load of like 3 adults there in the back would struggle to sit. You know what I mean? And obviously it's not advertised as a really like a family car probably. It's probably like a single person's car, you know, you and your mate or something like that, you and your girl, you know. Or if you maybe if you have kids you can stick them in the back, but as like 2 or 3 adults will struggle in the back to sit there, you know.
From a software perspective, are so well thought out that
That's
you
what it
end up
seems like
using them
anyways.
and not ignoring them. Night vision and things like this, but do you actually use them, or are they buried in some menu somewhere where you like show it once and then you're kind of done with it? I didn't peel any of the plastics yet. I was saving that for the
That's so
video.
satisfying.
I like the way the
Peeling the
app lets me
plastics.
individually.
You know what? It's funny that he brings up the plastics. I never got people that leave the plastics on. You know what I mean? Do you ever see people that you go to their house or something like that and their monitor or their phones still have the plastic stuff on? I never got that, to be honest.
Select which seats I want to heat. Like this one is getting heated now, and I can even select the different levels. And this is prior
that's
to getting
insane.
into the vehicle. I know there's a lot of vehicles you
It's
can
all on
do
your
this
phone?
with, but how easy
That's
is
so
it? You know,
cool.
Tesla is really a software company as much as they're a hardware company. I mean, in many
Yeah.
ways, maybe even more so when you think about the self-driving stuff, which of course I'm going to get to as we move through this video. So the charge port is over here behind this reflector here. You tap there, it reveals it has a light.
Everything
on it.
looks so
This
smooth.
is
Like
another thing
when
you
he
can
opens
control from
everything,
the
it's
app
just
as
so
far as
smooth.
locking and unlocking the port, starting and stopping charging. I did that.
It's
on the app.
insane. You can just do everything on the app.
Okay,
like,
so this
you can open
vehicle
every door in
obviously
the app.
has the yoke
That's
steering.
mad.
This is a hugely
Yoke.
controversial, hot topic item. I wasn't certain one way or the other, but I can safely say I kind of miss this thing when I don't have it. There's a novelty factor to it, but it does work. Obviously, when you're in a parking lot or something, there's gonna be a real learning curve there because
Yeah,
well, you're
probably
lacking curves.
it just probably just takes time to get used to. You know what I mean? Like you can probably put your hand through the middle, you know, where through one of the gaps, you know, and then rotate it. Like it's pretty simple, but it just takes time to get used to. Like anything else, to be honest.
But when you're cruising on the highway or you're in autopilot or something like that, and you're just like barely touching it, this is such a comfortable place to rest your hands the
Yeah.
way that they've designed it. It wasn't perfect out the gate. You had the signals, for example, after you made the turn, it wouldn't go off. You'd tap it again to turn it off. Next thing you know, like a week after having it, software update rolls out. Now it turns off.
You know what? I don't think like people give time to for the Teslas. You know what I mean? Like I mean, Rome wasn't built in one day. Like so, it's obviously like I bet you like the Tesla in about 5 years time, 10 years time is gonna be probably the biggest car company in the world. Like, but sure, look at the other car companies. Like everyone's trying to follow Tesla with the like BMWs, Porsches. Like everyone's making electric cars now because it's kind of trending at the moment. You know, so I mean Tesla is the original one. You know, it's like the original Ford.
These are the types of updates where they can get user feedback and actually push this update to the car and drastically change the behavior of a certain feature.
Looks so
to
spacious in
meet
the front though.
criteria of the user.
Looks comfy, like it wraps around you.
Like a software company, technology company, a smartphone company. They happen to be in automotive, but it's really the tech that sets it apart, not the turning rubber. You need the turning rubber, but you get where I'm going here. And it certainly helps that this thing is a performance monster. It even gets the performance heads.
It looks so
from the
sick though.
combustion engine world interested.
It's insane.
You've got to pay attention when something's moving that fast, and moving that fast, like, well, I'm gonna show you in this video. You can tell this is really what it's about. It's this cockpit. This is the thing that you really miss when you're in some other car, is sitting right here. Having this big.
Yeah, they improved the Tesla so much. Like if you look at the original, like the first Tesla ever made, and like you look at this one now, I think this is the latest one. Like and you look at the interior and stuff like that, it looks so much nicer than the first one. And that just goes to my point of me saying that Rome wasn't built in one day. You know, like they're obviously gonna be improving everything. And imagine this car now in like 5 years time, 10 years time, it's gonna look insane.
Big display, having this other display here, and the yoke just completely letting you see it. Something about it feels futuristic. Something about it feels a lot like that initial iPhone moment where you have this vision of the future and you feel like you're interacting with it. And I think these influences are going to be felt across the entire industry. It's Google Maps on a
Yeah, for
21-inch
sure.
display in your car. You're never
21
worried
inches,
about
that's pretty
nav
cool.
at all. In fact, you're not worried about Android Auto at all. You're not worried about Apple CarPlay at all. Everything is right there.
That's so
So your
handy.
phone can very easily just drop right here. And this is two
Chargers?
wireless chargers
Yeah, I
at
knew
your
that.
disposal, and it's such an obvious place to put your smartphone. The music player section can be this big, it can be this big if you want more map, or if I click up here, it can be this big and it can give me a lot more information about what I'm listening to.
That's
All
so
right, now let me
sick.
click this little button in the bottom left. This is how you interact with your car. So you can see here it's saying that I can open the front trunk. It's showing that the passenger door is open. You have options for moving the mirrors, steering wheel. The steering wheel movement is really cool. If I click steering wheel, this little toggle becomes the way to find the
That's
perfect
insane.
location. It's all motorized and it's in tiny little increments. You can raise the suspension, and what's cool about that is if you're going through a drive-through or something,
That's a new standard.
you raise the suspension to be at the same height as the drive-through window. It will remember that geography, it'll remember the location, and it'll automatically elevate the next time around. Same
That's
goes for
insane.
bumps on the road, where you might scrape the front end or something. It can remember these things if you frequently raise your suspension at a particular location. So we can open up halfway to this spot and have access to our cup holders, but keep it clean across the top. We can also pull the cup holders back to get access to a much deeper compartment
Yo, that's pretty big.
below there. And we can push this all the way back to get access to this first bin. Then I can push this portion back to get access. Once again, there's a pack of cashews already down there, sea salted from
That's
Mongo's
mad.
Thank You. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's big down there, and you don't even have to look at it when you're not using it. It's like having an extra center console. Normally, you'd only have this here, but you're getting it over here as well. Here are the settings for pedals and steering. When I first got the car, by default, the steering
That's like
wheel was
really
standard.
setting
And
a
I was
new
kinda
standard.
like, you know what? I feel like we can tighten this up.
They're setting the new standard not to just electric cars, even to like normal cars. You know what? I'd love to see Tesla make like a diesel car or a petrol car. I just like, I think like I'd be interested to see like what they come up with. You
I
know?
want to feel a little bit more. Put into sport mode, never look back. So this is a real difference maker from a settings perspective. If you like a more tactile feel with your steering, throw on the sport mode. Obviously for acceleration, we have chill, sport, and plaid. This thing has been pretty much locked in plaid. This is addictive. Hitting the accelerator and going. For drag strip mode is in there. Launch mode is in there. What's in beta right now is this option for the car to remember, look at its surroundings, know how it got into a particular spot, and you not even have to press that. It'll just know, and you just hit the brake, then the accelerator,
insane.
and you're off, not having to worry about it. I'm in sport mode.
Just like a big
There's
computer
an
on wheels.
advanced mode if you want to get even crazier between firm and soft. Ride height is also available to you from very high down to low. This is configuring the way you want the car to feel and perform. For me, it lives in sport. We can schedule our charging in here. Now, by default, Tesla leaves a little bit of the battery uncharged for the daily recharge.
Okay.
I'm still getting around 500 kilometers with some leftover space, which is the recommendation.
Yo,
So if
that's
you wanna
pretty
go for
big.
a road trip and get that like 520 that this thing is rated for.
Okay.
then you just
That's a
hit
lot.
that limit all the way to the top. Charging to this level will take longer. You see? Or I can go back down. I can set it in the car. I can set
500
it in
kilometers.
here.
That's a lot
I
actually.
also want to mention something that I almost forgot. If you get concerned that your touchscreen might have issues and you can't put the car into drive or reverse, down here, they're really faint right now, but the icons also exist that you can tap. As far as cameras, I mean, they're huge, rear facing, side facing.
That's
I click
insane.
this little button and I see more. We can obviously customize this section down here. We can look at our dash cam.
Yo, imagine just having that and then just driving on like a highway or motorway, whatever you want to call it, and just like sticking on like a podcast, listen to Joe Rogan on Spotify, and just watching at the same time. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty sick. Instead of trying to use your phone, you know, sometimes people drive, like put their phone in the phone holder thing, and they'll watch at the same time as they're driving. But imagine having like a 21-inch screen there. You know, I think it'd be much safer. You know what I mean? Because you can kind of, if you're driving looking straight, you can kind of see it in the corner of your eye 21-inch screen, you know. And you can see the podcast instead of like looking at your tiny little phone, you know.
There we go. This thing is monitoring the road as well as the entirety of the surroundings of the car. We have a calendar, messages, there's a theater. This is where you're going to watch Netflix, YouTube, or Twitch. And what's cool about this experience is that
That's so
you have
cool.
a nice sound system.
Maple syrup guy.
If you have to wait anywhere
That's pretty
for
clean.
anyone on a relatively frequent basis, you don't even mind because you're not staring at your little phone like with
I
your
wonder if
neck
you can put
cranked
in your
over, you're
own
just over
sound system
here
into it. Sure
watching
you can.
something through the sound system. Maybe you want to watch Lou later. I don't know. It's up to you. Once you're in theater, you also have access to arcade. This is all types of games that you can play in the car. Some of these games use touch input. Others, like beach buggy racing, uses steering wheel input.
You know what? That's where I think it becomes controversial, like games. I'm a fan of it. Obviously, I like the concept, but I don't think you should be able to play them games while you're driving your car. Okay, so you can't just drive and play a game at the same time. But if you're stopped, your car is turned off or whatever, or it's sparked, it obviously knows when it's sparked and stuff like that. Obviously, and then you can play. I'm up for that, but not when you're driving or anything like that.
But then there's games that you probably know, like Cuphead. You can pair an Xbox controller and legitimately sit here and game. Or you could just play a
That's
touch-based game like chess, even
Chess,
with
yeah.
a passenger. Oh, don't you get me started on Toy Box. So Toy Box, you can change your horn sounds.
That's so cool.
There's also this thing
That's
called
so
tracks.
cool.
You can do some beat making on here. You know, I don't know. You're chilling out late, you know.
Yo, I'd
That's
say
the
Kanye
BBM,
West would love
move
this.
around. It's really basic, but when I was a kid, this was not basic. This was like software that you had to buy. I mean,
Yeah.
you're 7 years old. That's fine. But when I'm in my car, I'm just like, man, it's a time. Like this.
so cool.
What car? What car? What car?
The new
Couple other things
standard,
on the
as I
steering
said
wheel real
before.
quick. Changing lanes, signaling turns is over here. These are touch buttons. Your lights are up there. This wheel is going to control volume. This is going to control autopilot and then speed within autopilot. So once you're in autopilot, you want to go a bit faster, just scroll that up, scroll it back a little bit. Your horn is in this location and voice activation is just below that. And then you also have your biohazard defense system
What?
for filtration as well. Cleaning.
Filters the air? That's
All right, let's
insane.
peel off this plastic that's been on here for way too long, and then let's go drive this thing.
Okay. That's so smooth.
No one's in there.
I wonder what the price of the new Tesla Plaid is. It says around 200k probably. Brand new.
Oh, I've been waiting a long time to do that. Now we're really ready to drive this thing. This video has been sponsored by Insta360.
Okay.
So if you're at it, just soft a flow editing functions. You can do
That's
voice.
still there.
Actually, click the link in the.
Okay, let's go.
We're preparing for launch. We're launching. We're gonna launch here in a second.
Oh, you have to prepare for it? Okay. Okay. Yo.
God.
It sounds so nice. It sounds like a jet or something, you know what I mean? It really
Your
sticks you
body
back to the
feels
seat.
G.
Yeah.
It'll shoot you right out of a cannon.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
wonder what
so-
G-force on that is.
We are getting onto the highway right now. Merging. This dash right here sort of displays everything that's going on. These different cars get identified by this car. You see, like, this SUV shows up.
That's pretty accurate as well,
screen
actually.
here, and everything is oriented towards this screen. And that's one of the benefits of having this steering yoke instead of a wheel is there's no obstruction here.
Yeah,
Now,
that's what I
one
was
of my
thinking
favorite
of
things
straight
about
away
this
when I seen
car
that.
in autopilot driving is how easy it is to jump in and out of it. Like, your settings are all set up in advance in the menu system, but then if you want to toggle it on, you just click this button here, and that's it. the car's driving itself. Now, if I want to speed up, I just push this wheel forward. If I want to slow down, I pull it back. Now, you can also set your follow distance, just like any type of adaptive cruise control, where it'll keep.
That'd be pretty cool. Like if you're traveling like a long distance, you know, if you're like if you have to go somewhere that's 4 hours away and it's mostly the motorway, or you know what I mean. So you just stick on the autopilot and you just go. You know, you're obviously gonna be still paying attention to the road, but it's pretty nice just to be able to sit back like cruise control on a normal car.
The same distance between you and the car in front. If you want to switch lanes, then you just simply use your signal indicator and the car will look for an opportunity to change lanes. You can also have a little bit more agency over it, like let this car pass and then say I want to switch lanes. It looks for a spot, can't do it yet, then it goes on its own.
That's nice.
Kick out of that. It's constantly improving. It's constantly getting fine-tuned. And
yeah, as I said, in 10 years time, I say Tesla cars are going to be absolutely insane. I say the new Tesla truck is going to be absolutely insane, but we don't know when it's going to come out yet, so we'll have to wait for that. But I'll definitely be looking at reviews for that
smoothest
once it comes out.
experiences that I've had. You will have to touch the steering wheel every so often. It says, please keep your hands on the yoke. Be prepared to take over at any time. So I can kind of have them like this. I can pick up a coffee, drink a coffee. I'm monitoring what's going on. So apply slight turning force to the steering yoke. It also flashes white at the top. So I barely touched it, and that's enough.
So it knows that you're,
let the system know that I'm here.
Yes.
I'm gonna turn on
okay, so you can't go to sleep.
So if you're approaching a light,
I think that was the biggest thing with people with the autopilot when it just first came out. Everyone was like, "Oh, sure, you're just gonna be going to sleep and stuff like that while the car is going, and you're gonna be crashing." But as you can see there, you can't go to sleep because you have to keep touching the steering wheel, just to let the system know that you're there, that you're aware of your surroundings and stuff.
That is currently green, but changing to yellow or red, then you would not hit the accelerator to continue. But if it maintains its green, you tap the accelerator and you proceed through the intersection. Look at the way. See, it knows, for example, that that's a giant bus. It knows that that's a large truck.
That's pretty
now
cool.
We're still in autopilot, and look, the car takes off on its own. It's going to still stop for the traffic.
It's also to do something with the satellites.
I use the accelerator. I touch the accelerator, just tap it to continue, and it goes through the green line and then through the lights, which it sees over here. And then I can go ahead and increase the speed. Now, one of the nice things about the yoke is if you use autopilot a lot, it's kind of a comfortable place to rest your finger or hand here anyways.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty sophisticated system. Now, maybe
looks nice.
I am slightly more impressed because I haven't had experiences with the previous system, so it wasn't like I got to know it intimately. Let me just say one more thing on the autopilot front, because it's really weird. There's this experience you have owning a vehicle like this, which is a high performance vehicle, obviously very quick, Plaid, 0 to 62 seconds, whatever happens to be. Sometimes
I think it's like 0 to 60 is like 1 point something. I think it's like, I'm not sure. I think it's like 1.8 or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's below 2 seconds.
You want to drive like that. Sometimes you want the performance, the snappiness. Other times you want to hit the button and let the car do it on its own. It's actually the best of both worlds. It's not one or the other, which was a concern of mine. I was thinking, okay, in this autonomous future, what happens to the joy of driving? And I think it's why this vehicle is so critical, because I mean, the joy is still there. I realize some people, they want to have a certain sound. They want to have a certain feel, a more mechanical feel possibly, but the exhilaration is there. If you drive this thing quickly, you're gonna feel it in your body.
Yeah, for sure. It'll pull you back into the seat.
No. he's still.
Oh, he's charging up?
No, please.
Okay.
Okay.
So listen how it sounds.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's madness.
God.
That's insane. Yeah, so as I said, that's the new standard for cars, and I'd love to see Tesla make just like a diesel or petrol car. I think I think they'll absolutely blow everyone out. And like they'll have no competition if they can bring something out like that, but in a diesel or in a petrol. That's gonna be insane. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. That's definitely something to look at if you can afford something like that. You have the money to get a Tesla. You're looking for one. I definitely recommend the Plaid. I think that's the Model S as well. The new standard, as I said already.